And gentlemen, it's that time of year again, and it's time for my predictions of WrestleMania 41. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot to talk about in WWE WrestleMania. You can find this on Peacock. This year's WrestleMania is going to be taking place in Las Vegas. Well, there's a lot of gambling of who's going to win who, and we're going to get some great matches. And each WrestleMania is going to be 9 hours long. So that's 9 times 2 days equals 18 hours. Which is kind of amazing. I'm pretty sure you're going to get some improv 2 matches in those, in the pre-show, in my opinion. Anyways, it's WrestleMania season, and it's time to do my predictions right now. You know the rules. First we do the women's match, then the matches, the regular matches, and the title matches for the men. So let's begin. Coming up first is going to be our tag team for the women's tag team championship match. Tonight on SmackDown, we're going to have a number 1 contenders match for the tag team championship for the women's division. If I had to choose who's going to face off against Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez from the Judgment Day, here are my 2 predictions. I'm predicting that it's either going to be Asuka and Kairi Sane or Alba Fyre and Piper. It kind of makes sense for it to be Asuka or Kairi Sane, because they are in a faction with Io Sky, which is Damage Control. Oh yeah, he's still there. Anyways, I still think it also makes sense that Piper and Alba Fyre should be in this tag team match for the championships, because they just got introduced as a faction, which is going to be public influence. I think that's what their stable is called. Their faction, their stable, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, let's see. It kind of makes sense for Alba Fyre and Piper to win this match, because like I said, they just got into a stable together. And plus, I'm pretty sure Chelsea Green is now the leader of this tag team stable that she put together. Sorry, I accidentally said the word foot for some reason. Sorry. Anyways, might be a possibility, but I'm calling it now. Alba Fyre and Piper are going to go against Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez for the women's tag team championships. I still think that it's either going to be them or Asuka and Kairi Sane, but who knows? It's a battle royal. Oh wait, is it a battle royal or gauntlet match? I'm pretty sure Nick Aldis or Adams said that it was going to be a gauntlet match in the WWE Women's Championship match. I think it's going to be a gauntlet match tonight. So I'm predicting that Alba Fyre and Piper are going to be taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez. And in case you're wondering who do I think should win, easy, Alba Fyre and Piper, because Judgment Day has lost 2 members from injury, which is JD Madonna and Carlito. So the only Judgment Day members that we have left are Dominic and Finn Balor, and plus Liv Morgan and Rodriguez. So it makes sense that they lose the women's tag team championships because the Judgment Day is falling apart. But anyways, Yeah, but it kind of makes sense. Anyways, let's go on to our next match. Naomi versus Jade Cargill. I don't see Naomi winning this match. I mean, she might have a I can't speak right now. Sorry, guys. She might have like a new tag team partner to help her. Might be a possibility that Bianca might roll over one of them, even though that she's going after the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. But I'm pretty sure in the draft, I'm predicting that either one of them is going to be going to Raw, which is going to be Jade Cargill, because she needs some new competition. It kind of makes sense for her to have a singles run, even though that she won the women's TBS championship back in AEW. So I think it makes sense to give her another singles title shot in the WWE. I don't see her winning the Women's World Championship or the Women's Championship. Probably winning the Mid-Card Championships first, then let her go up for them. And I do see Jade Cargill going after the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And it kind of makes sense because the Women's Mid-Card Championships, which is the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship, are not being used that often in live television. But to be honest, WWE has 5 matches per night in Raw and SmackDown, so what do you expect's gonna happen? Anyways, I'm predicting that Jade Cargill is going to win that match. Like I said, there might be a possibility of Bianca screwing one of them over. Judging by Bianca's behavior in SmackDown for the past... SmackDown and Monday Night Raw for like the past 2 to 3 weeks, she might be turning heel. But if she does, then she might be winning the Women's Championship, and there might be a possibility of her teaming up with Naomi in the near future. So I'm predicting that Jade Cargill is going to win, and Bianca might screw one of them over. And now it is time for our Women's Championship match. Tiffany versus Charlotte. Charlotte won the Royal Rumble this year back in February 1st. And please, in the near future, please let WrestleMania happen on my birthday in the next few years. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen, but I hope it will. It might be a possibility. Who knows? Anyways, it's pretty obvious that Charlotte's going to win this match for the Women's Championship, because I don't see Tiffany keeping that title long year. And the reason why I'm choosing on Charlotte, because she is a major superstar, and I'm pretty sure that WWE wants to push her more. I think the problem that people think about Charlotte is that she's kind of burying newer talent or younger talent. But in my opinion, Charlotte's already been a professional in the WWE ever since she was introduced in NXT. And plus, she is a Grand Slam champion. The only title belts that she has not won is either the Women's World Championship and the 2 Mid-Card Championships. Oh, are we going to be getting Mid-Card title matches at WrestleMania this year for the women's division? Even though they were introduced last year? there'll only be a possibility of them having mid-card championships at WrestleMania because it's going to be a longer show for both Saturday and Sunday this year. I want to say yes, but the problem is that they might be in the pre-show. And to be honest, they're supposed to be major championships for the women's division, for the mid-card division, because they added a mid-card division for the women's championships, such as North American, United States, and the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Oh, that reminds me. The Women's North American Championship is also not being used properly. Why do you think they have it with Stephanie Ventura both unifying the NXT Women's and NXT North American Championship? Anyways, I think that's the problem with the Women's Mid-Card Championships, because they're not being utilized that often, even though that SmackDown and Raw have 5 matches on their plate. And to be honest, that's kind of disappointing because, like I said, they just introduced these mid-card championships and they're not doing that much with them. I'm pretty sure that was a problem as well for the men's division back in 2018 through 2022. But to be honest, this is what happened when you have like a bloated roster and a short period of time of your shows. Sure, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown was only 2.5 hours, and SmackDown is only 3 hours. But I've been hearing rumors saying that SmackDown's going to be going back to 2 hours because most people think that it should have stayed for 2 hours on SmackDown. I don't have a problem with that. I actually don't mind SmackDown being 3 hours because it makes sense. It's a Friday night, and plus AEW Rampage just got canceled 2 months ago, so it kind of makes sense to use that hour, to add an hour for SmackDown. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Tiffany versus Charlotte. Charlotte's gonna win. Pretty sure that she's gonna be the first one to beat her dad's record than John Cena, which we'll be talking about that in part 3. And now it is time for the Women's World Championship, the main event for the women's division. Rhea Ripley versus EOCI versus Bianca Belair. Why is Bianca Belair here? Because she won at Elimination Chamber, and her ex-partner Naomi got beat up by Jade Cargill. So like I said, there might be a possibility of Bianca screwing one of them over in the Naomi versus Jade Cargill match. Anyways, who do I think is going to win? Easy. Rhea Ripley. Yeah, I don't see Bianca or Io Sky retaining her championship anytime soon. The reason why I'm saying that Rhea Ripley should win, because it kind of makes sense. And plus, she is everyone's favorite. Most people are still calling her mommy, even though that she's not with Dominic anymore. And that's what made her huge. And she is also a Grand Slam champion like Charlotte Flair is with Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Sasha. Even though that Sasha Banks is not in the WWE anymore, she is still winning championships in the AEW division. Yeah, the reason why I think that Rhea Ripley's gonna win because she is a she gives I want to say that she gives Monday Night Raw more ratings in the women's division. Bianca, Yeah, sorry, Bianca. I don't see you winning that Women's World Championship anytime soon. The reason why I don't think so, because, like I said, she might either team up with Naomi, and she might screw up either Jade Cargill or Naomi in that match. Um, and I don't know. She might pull double duty in WrestleMania. And I don't think that she might be the special guest referee. She'll probably be doing commentary. And EOCI, yeah, I don't see EOCI retaining her women's championship anytime soon. I'm pretty sure they're gonna give it back to Rhea Ripley. But yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my predictions for the women's division of WrestleMania. Next time we're going to be talking about the regular matches in the men's division. Like I said, I don't think that they're going to have mid-card titles for the women's division at WrestleMania, but if they do, they might be improv 2 matches. And plus, they might be in the pre-show. So, yeah. Get ready for WrestleMania, everybody. Hope you have I hope you have an amazing day today. And always be a champion. Stay tuned for part 2. And I'm out.